Hello guys, so today's kind of a different video. Basically what I'm doing here is I've got seats from an '04 Crown Vic and I am putting them into my 2010 Crown Vic. So this is something that I guess there's not really a lot of videos on it. I mean, it's a pretty simple thing, but I figure, maybe people might want to see exactly how I'm doing this. So as you can see here, I've already got the driver's seat. I've got the leather covers on it. I've replaced the foam. I've done a little bit of refurbishing, which I'll kind of go over that as well. And I've also put in the lumbar support that was in the '04, and I put it in the 2010. I'm not sure if it still works or not. I'm assuming it still does, but I've just got to kind of figure out the wiring. And hey, hopefully that'd be pretty cool to have lumbar support in it. But first, we're going to start off with just getting this off. It's really not too hard. I usually start off with just taking this bad boy off, which, you're just going to want to use this clip right there, and boom, it pops right out. Kind of as a disclaimer, I'm not sure if it's maybe just the year, so the 2010, or if it's just the fact that it's a police interceptor, but they actually have these pins on the 2000. Well, this is the pin that came out of the my 2010, and it actually has this pin here that keeps it permanently locked in place. So you can't actually take that headrest off. You'd have to, I mean, I yanked the headrest out with this. So but we'll get to that eventually. So just kind of a little this interesting thing that I found doing that. So in order to actually get all this stuff off, it's pretty simple. It's not anything complicated, but it always helps to have a visual guide. So what I always start with is I start with this here. This has two bolts right underneath here. Let me see if I can show you guys. So this is what they're gonna look like there. So I have a flashlight. I may or may not have a flashlight. Let me grab one. Okay, so that little bolt right there, that's exactly what you're going to do. There's going to be one on this side, there's going to be one on that side. Now, when you're taking them out of your 2010 or whatever other year you have, for example, with the police interceptor, they're probably going to have this fabric here, which you're replacing, and they're going to have the same exact plastic board. It's just going to be underneath the seat cover instead of being outside of it like this one is. And I'll also go over how to get those off as well. But again, it's just those two simple bolts there. This one here, the remote control for the lumbar support, you're also going to want to take out. It's very simple. It's very easy. I mean, you just pull it out. It's supposed to have two tabs on either side here, which you can see actually. Where did I put it? Right here. So it's supposed to have those tabs there. One of them broke off on this one, as you can see. But yeah, it's supposed to have those tabs. So there's a metal framing in there that you just kind of click it into. But I mean, it's pretty simple. You're just going to pull it out. It's probably going to break. It's really not that big of a deal. It's just some super glue will easily fix that. You're going to disconnect this first off. Let me do that off camera. All right, so you're going to get that off because, I mean, you can't take the seat cover off without it, obviously. And again, I know that there's 1,000 videos out there on how to actually just take seat covers off, but I figured I'm going to be showing just a slight little bit more than that. And yeah, that's just kind of what we're doing here. So let me get these two bolts off, and then we'll go from there. All right, I've had to put gloves on just because this chair is very dirty, which we're going to clean it. But so yeah, you're just going to take those two out. Once you get those out, it's pretty much the same as any other plastics backing. You just pull up and out because these hooks really are going to be hooking right up on there. So those are going to be your connection points once you put it back on. But this is very simple to get out. We're just going to put it off to the side for now. Sit it down there. And now we can basically get to everything else. So obviously we can start by just unhooking these bits here. You're just gonna kind of slide those apart. It's gonna be the easiest way of doing it. Looks like this one's already come off the little hook here. I'm gonna pull this one out. It's pretty much as easy as it's gonna get. And then as for these guys up here, what you're gonna take off next, you can't really see it here, but see that black pin there? That's what you're gonna take out. So what you actually do, let me grab these. So what you're seeing there is this bottom part here. So basically what you do is you're just gonna squeeze it together and pull it out. It's really simple. I mean, it's not really something I need to show you, but this is supposed to be a step-by-step thing. So boom, there's one. You go for the other, and then boom, there's two. So there's both of yours out. I'm gonna be keeping these because I'm actually gonna use these to put into the new passenger side seat, because obviously, like I said, those have the pin in them, and of course I could pull the pin out, but in general these are in a bit better condition. So after that, you can pretty much take the seat covering off. There is going to be one more thing to get this back seat covering off though, which we'll go over in just a second. Let me get this off. All right, so this is what it's going to look like when it's off. Just be aware that you are pulling it off this Velcro here. And you're going to have to probably pull it out from underneath here, because it's going to be tucked in between those two seat cushions there. So it's going to be a little bit of a bitch, but not too big a deal. Now moving on here, you have it attached to the side airbag, which as you can see is bolted in right there. You can just take the entire thing out. That is a possibility. You're probably going to ruin your cushioning, and in my case, luckily I do have the side airbag in the 2010, which I didn't really know if the 2004 was going to have it, but it does. So pretty much what I just do, I just cut it off. You know, it's not really something you need to keep on there, especially if you already have it in your car. So I'm just gonna cut this fabric. I'm not gonna bother re-sewing it or anything like that. I'm just gonna leave the other airbag in the 2010 bolted in. And that's going to be really the end of that story. I don't think we really need to do anything more than that. Obviously, with these seat covers, depending on what you get, some of them are made for the side airbag, some of them aren't made for the side airbags. And my logic is basically, if this thing has a side airbag attached to it, it's built for the side airbag. So I'm not all that worried about if a crash, God forbid, were to happen, if that would not properly deploy out of this. So I'm not particularly worried about that. Of course, you can sew it back together, although that may require a couple more steps in taking out the newer one and kind of doing a whole bunch of stuff to it, which personally I just don't feel like doing. So that's kind of going to be the story. I'm going to go ahead and chop that off. We're going to move on to everything else. All right, now that's that off. Now that's off, excuse me. Now we just got to pull this off. It's really not all that hard. Although it is actually important to note here, the 2004 seats, and probably anything like that with probably those older, I imagine likely with these older model years, and maybe even just with the LX versions, which I'm pretty sure this is what it's pulled from, they're going to have this, they're going to have these little ringlets that attach the foam to the seat. My 2010 CVPI seats do not have this. So you can actually just pull these out completely and ignore them. It's really up to you. For me personally, I'm not even sure if I'm going to use this foam or if I'm just going to use the passenger side foam that I already have, because the passenger side foam I already have is in really good condition. So I may not actually need this anyway, but that's just something to point out. So you can rip them off. You can, unhook them, pull them out, and then just kind of recouple them so you have them there in case for whatever reason. It's completely up to you. And then after that, it's just simply pulling this off. Okay, so I've taken that off. I left those little metal clips in to the driver's seat, but I'm just going to take them out for this one. Again, not even 100% sure I'm actually going to reuse this cushion here. It is from 2004, but we'll make that decision when it comes to it. So we are going to end up taking this bad boy off, again, just so we can have that lumbar support option. It looks like this one actually has a bit more air in it than the driver's side did. Again, the guy that I got these off of, I'll probably have to contact him to try and get that that wiring, because he's going to pull all that wiring out, and hopefully I can snag it and get that in my own stuff here. But yeah, so to move on to the seat cushion itself, we're kind of getting a little bit more annoying. Not really all that much, but it is a bit of a hassle. So what we're going to start to do, we're going to go ahead and flip this thing upside down and or on its side. I guess for right now, we'll just put it on its side here. And so it has, again, similar to the front, 4 clips. You've got one at the front here, which looks like it's already off. You've got one at the back here, and then, oh wow, look at all that. And then you're going to have one here, and then the same on the other side. So these the back and front are very easy to get off. These side ones, however, you're going to have to put in a little bit of effort here. You just want to grab it like this and then just pull it out. Don't worry about breaking them. They're not going to break likely. They're very, very malleable plastic clips. So don't worry too much about breaking them. And you're really going to have to give it some effort there. So yeah, after that, we're going to have to unbolt the part of the frame right over here. Oh, maybe not here. Maybe it's on the other side. Oh yeah, it's going to be on the other side. So on the other side, I'll show you. Actually, I'll just show you right now. On the other side here, you have this bolt. You're going to want to take that off so that this part comes undone, because you need this not attached so you can get the seat covering and the foam off. I don't know why the fuck they made it like that. That's how they made it. And actually scratch that about there being 4 points here. There's actually 5. There's one right here. It's very hidden. It's very annoying to get off. I always do that one last because it's easiest when it's the last one to do. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Okay, so we've pretty much got it all off. For this one back here, I kind of just pried this back like this until this eventually popped out. You can't slide it out because it's knitted as though it's a little pocket. So you can't like slide it out or anything. Kind of annoying. I got this side off. I did forget to mention one part of it here. It's actually got a little plastic connector piece. Come on, get on your side. Right here. Let's see, this black piece right here. Let me get my light. Okay, right there. Can you see it? There we go. That little black connector piece there. So that's not too hard to get out. You're just gonna grab your needle nose pliers, or I know that some people, well, I know that there is a tool out there that is specifically for getting these things out. I don't have it. Get it out there and ply it out. You don't have to worry about being too rough on it. You can get a new one, I guess, if you really want to. I'm not going to bother. It's rough looking, but it'll hold it in. It's going to work. So I guess it's more of just kind of like almost like a fail point kind of thing, I think. But yeah, in order to get it off on this side, like I said, you unbolt it here. As you can see, the bolt's not there anymore. This is loose. This is loose here. You can pull it up and down. That's how you're going to slide this out. That's how you're going to slide the foam out. That's how you're going to slide, if you're replacing the foam, that's how you're going to slide the new foam in. And that's how you're going to slide the seat cover back on, as far as I understand, all gears. So no matter what you have. So yeah, just like that. Oh, I got to pull it out here. Looks like it's caught on a couple things. Come on. All right, hold up. Okay, lure drop. This wasn't the case on the driver's side seat. For some reason, it was the case on the passenger side. So it looks like you actually have a wire that runs from the side airbag through this hole in the seat. I'm not sure if it was originally like that or what, but that is the case. So that's what you got. So I just unplugged it from the side airbag. It has two little plastic things that you just need to pop up here. One and two. And then you want to try and just pull it through the other side pretty much. And that should work. That should take care of that problem. Again, it didn't happen on the driver's side. Maybe it wasn't the thing on the driver's side or something, but that's how I'm going to fix it. All right, so you just pull that foam right on off. Again, you got to lift it, or you got to pull it under this detachment part, pull that line through, and congratulations, you have successfully pretty much completely dismantled your seat. So obviously this is the passenger side seat, so you have the pressure sensor right there. And yeah, you can pretty much do whatever you want with this seat at this point. If you want to put new foam on it, or if you want to modify that foam, you can. I'll quickly go over all that stuff. What I'm going to be doing, I'm just going to be stealing this lumbar support there, stealing some of the wiring, and hoping to God that the wiring that I do steal is the wire that I need. So I'm going to do that real quick, and then we'll go over how at least I am going to clean this stuff up, refurb it a little bit, and slap it under the new frame. Alrighty, so basically all that you have to do from here is clean up the coverings, potentially make fabrications to the foam, repeat the entire process on the frame that you're going to be putting back into the car, and then just put it in basically. So that's how you're going to do it. Again, these are motor seats, so they have the motors that make you go back and forth, the lumbar, all that fun stuff. That's just not something I really cared to mess around with or even really have in my car. I don't really care about that. The manual stuff is perfectly fine. It does the same exact thing. And I'm not moving my seat around a lot anyways. I'm the only one who drives it. So before we go ahead and just call it at that for the video, there's really nothing special that you need to do in order to put all this stuff back on. Again, if you want to do the lumbar support, that I obviously haven't figured out the wiring for it yet, but I've taken the wiring that I believe I need for it, and it's simple enough to get the lumbar support actually attached to there as well. Not hard at all. And then yeah, so I'm just going to clean this down with some special cleaner for leather. Probably hit it with some like OxyClean or Clorox foam cleaning spray stuff to try and clean up the fabric pieces that are all around it. Hit it with some disinfectant, stuff like that, a couple rounds of that just to get them nice and clean. And then as for the cushions, the really main thing I'm going to do, I'm going to be putting some, this is outdoor fabric, quote unquote. I've seen fabricators specifically use like burlap and stuff like that. You're basically just going to get some fabrication glue or upholstery glue, and you are going to just put it on the underside of the seat. So let me grab this seat right here and show you what I'm talking about. Put my flashlight away. So what I'm talking about is this. So for example, the pieces that I have here, I believe I've cut them out to go something along the lines of like this, right? Like something like that. Basically, you're going to be cutting it to the shape of your of the bottom of your foam. I may actually have to recut it if the bottom looks anything like that. But yeah, basically that's what you're going to be doing. You're just going to be gluing it down there. I'm no upholstery expert. I've watched a couple of videos. All I know is that it's supposed to help the foam kind of retain its condensedness, if that's a word. And then as for putting some more cushioning in it, the really main part on my driver's side seat that I had a problem with was specifically this section here. And so all I did, I just got some high density foam from a supply store and just glued it on there. It, you can feel that it's there, obviously, because I didn't do any like trimming or anything like that, which you can do if you feel so inclined, but it feels much nicer than what my seat was before. It feels like a brand new seat. This specifically is like 1 inch. So that's typically what I've seen people do. So I just kind of winged it, copied it, and it turned out great. So that's pretty much going to be it for this video. I mean, again, this really wasn't anything too special. It's not like this is rocket science to tear down a seat. But for anybody that maybe is feeling a little bit uncertain about doing this, maybe they're not sure if the gap in the model years is too much or too much to be compatible, this is the video for you guys. So yes, you can do it. It's a little bit of work, but overall it's really not complicated. You can get it done very quickly. And if you do want to fiddle around with the electronics like I'm going to attempt to do, you can do so, get a little bit more luxury in your Crown Victoria Police Interceptor model, or if you're just in general trying to upholster the cushions, replace the seat covers for whatever reason, now you know how to do it. Just some primary points, really being the airbag. Make sure if you're replacing it that the seat covers you're replacing it with are compatible with that airbag and are made for that. If you're completely replacing the if you're just going to take a 2004 seat and put it into a 2010, obviously that's not going to be so compatible. You're going to have some issues. I do believe that it will plug in to the motor. I don't think those specific model years will plug in for literally anything else though. So you're going to have to get a bunch of wiring done, which is exactly why I didn't want to go down that route. It's not really my specialty. Not really something I want to put my time and effort into, but people have done it. There's plenty of forums that you can read about. You can ask any people on, on subreddits, on all kinds of forum sites, and they will gladly help you out. But yeah, so thanks for watching, I guess, and let me know if you want to see anything like this again, and I'll try and do my best to show you.